Thurgood Marshall, which I find fit the unprecedented moment we are living in. Democracy just cannot flourish amid fear. Liberty cannot bloom amid hate. Justice cannot take root amid rage. America must get to work. In the chill climate in which we live, we must go against the prevailing wind. We must dissent from the indifference. We must dissent from the apathy. We must dissent from the fear, the hatred, and the mistrust. We must dissent because America can do better, because America has no choice but to do better.
That was Wisconsin's Supreme Court Justice-elect Susan Crawford quoting Supreme Court Associate Justice Thurgood Marshall in her victory speech last night. She told her supporters, quote, "Courts are not for sale," after Elon Musk spent millions in the race trying to defeat her. The Trump White House says there's nothing to see here, but the Wall Street Journal editorial board says there is. We'll dig into that.
And also, Jonathan, didn't Elon Musk say just a couple days ago that Western civilization would rise or fall with this election if Democrats didn't lose?
He said humanity's destiny rides on that particular seat. So grand stakes. He was clearly willing to go all in, make this a referendum, and they lost.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's hard to understate what a massive victory this was for him and what a massive loss it was for Elon Musk. I mean, Elon Musk put himself front and center. I think it's safe to say after last night in Wisconsin, the heat shield has melted. It did not hold together coming back into Earth's atmosphere. And man, again, just think, Wisconsin, media-wise, it's a small state. He spent tens of millions of his own dollars handing out $1 million checks. I mean, they went all in on this race and lost big.
Double digits.
Yeah.
Lost by 10 points in a race that was decided by less than 1 point in November, the presidential race with Donald Trump on the ballot. Less than 1 percentage point, less than 30,000 votes. Last night, by the way, big turnout, too, if you look at the numbers there. About 2.3 million people turned out, and Democrats turned out. If you talk privately to Republicans, they believe a lot of that was anti-Elon Musk when he's out there jumping around on stage with a cheese head. Nobody was buying that act, and they did feel like he stepped in with $20 million of his own money to try and buy that seat, and it backfired.
I mean, Wisconsin clearly said we are not for sale. And it big. And we'll talk about the Florida races too. I've just got to say, in my own old district, I was the first Republican to win my Pensacola and Escambia County since Reconstruction. No Democrat has won that county since then, since 1994. None in any federal race for Congress, House, whatever. Last night, you were there. I got a call, and my old chief of staff going, you need to look at the Escambia County.
The results.
Results.
Interesting.
I mean, it's the deepest red part of Florida. And it went blue last night.
We'll get to all of this.
Crazy.
Hours from now, President Trump will announce his so-called Liberation Day tariffs. Our experts are standing by to break down what to expect with that. Along with Joe, Willie, Jonathan Lemire, and me, we have MSNBC host Simone Sanders Townsend, and NBC News and MSNBC political analyst, former U.S. Senator Claire McCaskill. Thank you, everybody. Everyone's been up all night watching everything. In a blow to President Trump and billionaire Elon Musk, the Democratic candidate for Wisconsin's Supreme Court, Susan Crawford, has defeated her conservative challenger, allowing liberals to maintain a narrow majority on the battleground state's highest court. Crawford, a circuit court judge, secured a 10-year term over Brad Schimmel, who was backed by both Trump and Musk. The outcome, a major setback for Musk, who spent $25 million and personally campaigned in the state in an effort to defeat Crawford. Crawford spoke about her win last night.
I know how glad you are to see the TV ads end. So today, Wisconsinites fended off an unprecedented attack on our democracy. That's right. Our fair elections and our Supreme Court. And Wisconsins stood up and said loudly that justice does not have a price. Our courts are not for sale. As a little girl growing up in Chippewa Falls, I never could have imagined that I'd be taking on the richest man in the world. For justice in Wisconsin. And we won.
That is Susan Crawford, who won by 10 points last night. Claire McCaskill, we hesitate to read too much into one night in Wisconsin in an off year. But what does it tell you so far in these early days of the Trump administration?
Well, understand that the ads up there were about two things. The Republicans' ads were, I'm Donald Trump. Donald Trump loves me. Vote for me because you love Donald Trump. And the Democrats' ads were, vote for me because you do not want to sell Wisconsin to Elon Musk. So it was really a 1-2 punch because Trump wasn't enough and Musk was a big problem. And here is the dirty little secret. There are Republicans in Washington cheering today. They, many of them behind the scenes were saying, we are okay with losing this Wisconsin Supreme Court seat because it's time we take Musk down a peg. He needs to be put in his place. Trump needs to realize that he's hurting him. And I really think that the Democrats are excited today and feel energized by a lot of things. Mike Johnson got whipped yesterday on the floor of the House. Cory Booker stood up and did brave things. We won Wisconsin, and Florida was closer than it should have been. But the Republicans in Washington are also cheering because Musk doesn't have a lot of fans among Republican elected officials in D.C.
You know, that's a point we really need to underline. Simone, yesterday afternoon, reports started coming out all across media that Republicans wanted an April Fool's massacre, not for Democrats, but they wanted a political pounding against Elon Musk. And that's Republicans, of course, off the record, were all saying he needs to lose. We want him to lose in Wisconsin. We want him basically to get out of our way and let us do the job we were elected to do.
You know, I was thinking last night, will this now free up Republicans? I'm thinking of people like Tom Tillis, right? Who, he was doing an interview in the hallway, I believe, yesterday on the Hill, where he talked about the fact that the tariffs are not, that his farmers cannot afford short-term pain.
So they go bankrupt.
Right? He said they're one bad crop away from bankruptcy. But folks like Tom Tillis, folks like, I'm thinking of Senator Cassidy, right? They voted for all of these things that Donald Trump wants. They voted for the people that he wanted in his cabinet, even though they didn't necessarily agree. So my question becomes, are the Republicans now going to release themselves from the shackles of being scared of Elon Musk jumping into their primary and spending money against them? Because if Susan Crawford can hold on against the onslaught of the money, more than $20 million, $26 million, I believe. And she leaned into it. She said she's the one that made this race about versus Elon Musk. They were literally running ads in Wisconsin calling Brad Schummel, who's a sitting judge in Waukesha County, knee pad Brad.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, yikes.
I know, right? It was bad.
It gets rough up there in Oshkosh.
That's rough.
You know, Claire McCaskill, we know how this works, right? I mean, I had the Republicans doing everything they could to beat me in 1994. And through there, I won. And so I get up there and I start voting in ways they don't want me to vote. And they threaten me. And at one point, I had a member of leadership say, if you don't go this way, Scarborough, we're going to. And I cut him off. I go, what? Come into my district? Please come into my district. I won by 62% the first time you did. Come in again. And I win by 75%. And I turned around and walked off. Like, it was talk about Liberation Day. You know, this is Liberation Day for Republicans if they want to take it. They don't have to be scared of Elon Musk. They can actually do their constituents' biddings. And when he says, I'm going to come into your district, say, great, I'll win big, just like that judge up in Wisconsin.
Yeah, as Cory Booker said over and over again for over 24 hours, he said this is a moral moment. This is not about right or left, Democrat or Republican. This is about right and wrong. And Republicans know that, and they have been scared of Elon Musk. So it especially the ones who are from states. I mean, look at somebody like Dave McCormick. He won very narrowly in Pennsylvania. Is he really comfortable now going MAGA in Pennsylvania? I mean, these guys need to understand that there is real energy. There's frustration, there's anger, there's depression, there's disappointment, but under it all, there's real energy behind people in this country that don't like what's going on with the way we're treating our allies. They don't like what's going on. People are being deported without any due process. They don't like the idea that we're going to have escalating costs and our economy is going to be in the ditch because of the ego of this man around tariffs, which he clearly doesn't completely understand. There's a huge critical mass of people out there ready to act right now. And I think it's a big deal, and I think you're going to keep seeing it in special elections.
Well, and you know, Elon Musk said before the election, remember, he said, Americans are going to have to go through a period of pain.
I believe Trump said that.
He was being very clear.
Elon Musk said it, too.